What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice and Dragons, I'm going to be unboxing the 2 expansions that were released with Street Masters Aftershock. So we have here Essence of Evil and the second Redemption Pack. I like to call these expansions part of the Aftershock cycle. That's my term for it. I haven't seen it anywhere. Now, the game Street Masters is designed by Brady and Adam Sadler and published by Blacklist Games LLC. Now, just to tell you a little bit about what you're going to be doing in Street Masters, you will choose a fighter, you will choose an enemy set to fight against. Well, they could be a gang, they could be members of the kingdom. In any case, there's a lot of cool lore for this. I may be doing a lore video in the future. It may already be released. Who knows by the time when I get this video out to the public. In any case, your fighter is going to also be set up on a specific stage. You must manage the events of the stage while you also handle the goons that will be popping up every turn. And then you must defeat the boss to bring victory to your fighter and work towards saving the world. Well, I haven't quite got into lore of Aftershock yet, so not quite sure if we're saving the world or just cleaning up a decimated city. With that being said, I'm going to now grab my drink. You guys should grab a seat because we're going to take a look at what's in the box. Can't forget my sip though. Now we're going to take a look at what's in the box for Street Masters Essence of Evil. This expansion was part of the Aftershock phase of the game. So let's see what we get in the box. So we do get some new rules. Well, maybe not new rules, just a little bit more of an overview as to what you're getting in the box. Now we do have some new tokens. We get some more of what we saw in Aftershock, the 5 value tokens, some new ally/rival tokens, these storm tokens. We get 2 new stages, Reign of Storm and Ring of Fire. Let's see what we've got in here. We pop this off. So we'll take a look at the cards first so we get an idea as to who is who. So we do get some more dividers. So these are just the dividers for those of you that don't get the big collector's boxes or the standard dividers that come with the game. So Hanzo, the Ayakashi, Reign of Storm, Reign of Fire. Just get that plastic out of there. So here I'm guessing we've got some of the stage decks, potentially our fighter deck or faction deck here. So we've got Ikuchi. This looks like his rival and ally card. Then we've got his boss card. Well, looks like we've got like a story mode boss and then just like a regular boss card. So we've got Kyoryu with his ally and rival card. I'll flip this over. So we'll jump to the back. So, yeah, these are stages. So these are all the Ayakashi. So we got the reference cards for them. Some of the new villains, the Naruguard, the Envoys, Storm Thralls, Storm Echoes, and of course, Ikuchi. So that's what we get here for the Ayakashi. Then we got the stage deck for Reign of Storm. So explanation on how to set it up, the stage condition. So, oh, sorry, we've got both of them here. So we've got part of Reign of Fire here and Reign of Storm. Now, we've got everything we need to set up the game. We're not going to spoil it and say what's going on, but I'm guessing there's a storm raging and you might be moved around the board or potentially take some damage. Now, we can see here we've got the Storm Thralls. Pretty cool. I actually really like this miniature. Here we've got the Naruguards. So these are the other mini that we just looked at. Now I'm wondering what the purple ones are. I'm guessing maybe they have something to do with the Ayakashi's ability. They're probably going to be Storm Echoes. And I'm drawing a blank right now as to what the name of the last faction is. So I'm just going to push on the bottom to pop the deck out. So yeah, sorry, it's the Envoys. So I'll put this back in, take a look at the Envoy minis right here. So pretty cool mini. Didn't realize they were spears. I thought they had something else. So here are these storm clones of or storm echoes of the Never Guard. I like how they're this translucent purple plastic. Now here, looks like we've got Ikuchi. And then of course, the new hero that we get for this game, Hanzo. And I really like the look of the mini. I always like a character with a ton of swords. So I'm hoping that based on how he plays, maybe he becomes my favorite character. So let's see what we've got here. So next we've got stage condition cards. Now this is all stuff for Ring of Fire. So I'm going to actually take these 2 cards and put them here. So we do get the stage deck for Ring of Fire. Let's take a look at Hanzo and how he plays actually. So his action is to draw 1 card, then choose 1 fighter within 2 spaces of you to gain control of a weapon card in your hand. Then that fighter may resolve the effect of a weapon card they control as if they had just played it. So that is a pretty cool action. So as you can see, all his attacks say weapons. So attack for 2 dice. If the target is defeated, you may take control of the card. So there's some exhaustion rules. So we'll have to take a look at the reference card, but you can see he's got Makibishi, Kenjutsu, so using his swords. Attack where for 2 dice, targeting up to 2 enemies within 2 spaces of you. So pretty cool stuff that we see with Kenshin. Let's take a look at his, Hanzo. While equipped, gain control of the topmost weapon in Hanzo's discard pile. Exhaust a fighter controlling weapon may attack for 1 die dealing direct damage. So pretty neat stuff. And he's really all about holding on to weapons and using them differently. Each fighter controlling a weapon may perform an action. So pretty cool stuff here. We've got the Essence of Evil story deck. We get Hanzo's story deck. And of course, the new Showdown deck for the Ayakashi. And some story penalties that will come into play with that. So there you have it. We've taken a look at all of the cards. And we just got all Ring of Fire down there, so I don't need to do anything. Take a look at all the cards. We've seen the stage, the rules, the tokens. I'm going to want to get the shield back on for the moment. A little fussy getting this stuff on, but overall does pretty well. So we'll get this all boxed back up, and we'll continue looking at these this expansion wave that came out with Street Masters Aftershock as we move on to the second redemption pack. Now let's take a look at what's in the box for the second redemption pack for Street Masters. Now this rehabilitates some of these dastardly evil bosses and turns them into fighters. Now I'm not going to end up reboxing this afterwards. I'm just going to put this in the large Aftershock box, so don't expect to see it going back in. Now let's just take a look at what we have. So these are tokens, and these are ally/rival tokens. Not sure what some of the other tokens are for, so we just have all the details. So these are Affliction, Blood, Mercy, probably some of the stuff that I haven't seen as it's new in Aftershock. Now what we've got here is just an explanation of what you get in terms of components for the Redemption Pack 2. And we'll just open this up. I'm probably actually not going to end up keeping these, as these are just dividers so that you can sort the cards. Now, if you don't have the big box, you're going to be wanting these. And as you can see, what we're really getting here is just cards. So we're not going to take too deep of a look at all of this stuff. We're really just going to take a peek as to how each fighter works and just give everyone an idea as to what they will be getting if they decide to pick up this expansion. So we've got, I'm trying to pronounce this, sorry. It is Tlazolteotl, So we've got their card. So exhaust, place 1 affliction token in a space within 4 spaces of you. The attack, roll 2 dice. You may target an enemy in a space with an affliction token. So pretty cool. She's got reference cards. Attack for 2 die. You may target an enemy within 1 space of an affliction token. If you do gain up to 2 defense tokens. So she's really going to be doing things with afflictions. She's got some cool story cards. Let's take a look at this. Putrid Bolt. Attack for 1 die, targeting any enemy. Well, any enemy. This attack deals +1 general damage for each space containing an affliction token. So that's pretty cool how she's going to work. And it's interesting how they sort of just reorganized these the story cards instead of having them all separate. So the other deck we've got here is the Dawn. So he attacks for 1 die, adding +1 die if the target does not have any defense tokens, and +1 if the target is exhausted. And if the attack does not defeat the target, you gain 2 power. So that is pretty cool. He also has an ally in Genesis. So for each damage Genesis would suffer, you must discard 1 power or shuffle this card back into your deck. So that's pretty neat. And let's see what else he's got. Gloves coming off. Attack for 2 die, gaining 1 power for each enemy engaged with Genesis. Low bomb. Attack for 2 die, adding +1 die if Genesis is within 2 spaces of that target. So it looks like you've got an ally, and a lot of your attacks are going to be based around teaming up with them. Now let's continue on and see what we have here. And for those of you wondering why we're going a little bit more in detail on this redemption pack, I don't believe we're going to end up doing a review on this. There's, as you can see, just a ton of fighters to go through. So let's be a little tricky. So we've got the story card for Mac. So he's got the mercy tokens. So his action is attack for 2 die, targeting an enemy within 6 spaces and dealing general damage. This attack gains +2 if there are no mercy tokens on this card. Interesting. So attack with 2 dice, and you may gain 1 discarded mercy token to add +2 die to the attack. So his whole thing is the mercy tokens and how that works. Let's continue on here. So this is just more of the Dawn's cards. Now we'll move up in this redemption pack. Now, unfortunately, we haven't received the Aftershock stretch goals yet, so there are a few of these that we actually don't quite, we don't have as characters yet. But luckily, with this redemption pack 2, and with the tokens, we are able to at least play as these fighters, even without the miniatures, if we so choose, which is definitely a good thing, and a smart, simple addition by Blacklist Games. So here we've got Yokai's story. A game I really want to play. So reference card how to use Yokai and Shin Yokai. So he attacks with 2 dice, targeting each enemy engaged with you and dealing general damage. Well, okay. Then you flip the card, and he attacks with 3 dice, targeting each enemy engaged with you. So he looks like he's just going to be a fun beast. If your current form is Shin Yokai, you gain 1 power and attack with 3 die. Otherwise, 2 dice, healing 1 damage if your target suffers at least 1 damage. So pretty cool. So looks like you're going to have different types of attacks depending on the form. And there'll be definite ways to do more damage, such as if you're Shin Yokai, you get +1 direct damage. You can exhaust this card, suffer 1 damage to attack with 2 dice. So lots of really cool things that you can do with this card. So here we've got the Project X. Now if we take a look at Project X, place 1 tendril token, so attack for 2 dice. During this attack, you may choose 1 tendril token on the map, gain 1 defense token from each enemy engaged with you, then discard the chosen tendril token. So that's pretty cool. Cuddle time, move a tendril token on the map up to 2 spaces, then choose an enemy, and remove the chosen enemy tendril token from the board, and place them in a space within 2 spaces of you. Then attack for 2 dice, getting +1 die if the target is in a tendril space. So that seems to be what you're doing, using these tendrils, bringing people close to you, and also maybe moving them away. We'll have to see when we actually get into it, and dealing damage. We also have a nice story deck for the character, and here are the story cards for the Dawn. I was just wondering where those may have ended up. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So it looks like we got a few more cards for Project X. Let's get this all opened up. So we've got Miss Matrix, our hero story. So she attacks for 2 dice, then reveal the top card of your deck. You may play that card into the enemy play area or stage play area. So a fighter, so let's just see what this stuff does. A fighter may discard 1 card from their hand to play this card. Pretty cool. So attack for 2 dice. After this attack, if you play this card during your turn, you may put this card in a player of your choice instead of discarding it. So that's pretty cool. So she's really going to be making these attacks and letting you put some stuff into the enemy area so that you can trigger attacks during their turn, which is really cool. And I definitely want to play as this character. So a fighter may control 1 copy of this card. While you control that card, your attacks deal +1 direct damage. Exhaust to return 1 card from the enemy play area or stage area to your hand, and then choose a fighter to play a card. So that's really cool. Definitely a very interesting character. And then this is just some more cards for Project X. So we've almost gone through this full redemption pack and eager to see what else we have. Actually happy we've got some new allies and rivals as well. Just always a good addition to the game. So here we've got Celine. It's a hero story. So discard 1 blood token to attack. So she's a vampire, pretty neat. So she gets 3 die, or you gain 1 blood token to draw a card. So you got to really manage that. So Meat Hook, attack for 2 dice. Before this attack, you may discard 1 blood token, either gain +1 die, or exhaust a minion targeted by the attack. So really neat. Discard 1 blood token to attack with 1 die, gaining +1 for each blood token in the supply. The target is not defeated, you suffer 1 direct damage for each blood token in the supply. So that you got to be careful with. Butcher's Block, discard 1 blood token for each enemy engaged with you to attack for 2 dice, targeting each enemy. So pretty cool stuff. I'm not sure if there's abilities that will let you gain a blood token. So they go Pound of Flesh, where you can gain some blood tokens. You can also feint to gain more. Really interesting character. Here we got the Proxy, who is his attack is attack for 2 dice and exhaust a Vandal card you control to deal 1 direct damage. So with this attack, 2 dice, gaining each defense token used to block this attack. If you gain no defense tokens from this attack, you may exhaust 1 Vandal card you control and draw 1 card or gain 1 loot. So I'm not sure what these Vandal cards are. So just trying to see where they are. Severance. Maybe something else that we have that's included in the Kickstarter stretch goals that we don't currently have. Well, there's another pack down here. That's interesting. I'm wondering why these are 2 separate packs. Not that easy to get out, but maybe we got the stuff for Proxy in there. So we'll actually come back to this one. Let's take a look at these cards to see if we find Proxy Vandal cards. So first we've got Kenshin here we'll come back to. Let's just see, interact, fully brief, tactic Vandal. So his tactics are his Vandal cards. Gain 1 power, draw 1 card. Exhaust to gain 1 power and 1 defense token of your choice. So that's how he's going to work. Sorry there, I had to clear my throat. So we'll just put this back down. Take a look at Kenshin. So attack for 2 dice, and you may discard 1 defense token to deal 1 general damage to an enemy engaged with you. If you have no defense tokens, gain 1 random defense token. I like that. Attack for 2 dice. If the target enemy is defeated, gain its remaining defense tokens. Very neat. Defensive Sweep. Attack for 2 dice, adding 1 guard result for each damage dealt during the attack. Ooh, very cool. Overhand Strike. Discard any number of defense tokens and attack for 2, gaining +2 if you have no punch defense tokens left. It's tactic here. Each time you deal general damage, you may deal direct damage instead. Very neat. Gain 3 random defense tokens. You may distribute them among the fighters of your choice. So he's got some really cool stuff. Add 1 guard result to each of your attacks. He definitely looks like the kind of fighter that I would like. Also, just the name Kenshin makes me think of one of my favorite animes of all time, Rurouni Kenshin. Now let's take a look at this last package. Let's see what we've got here. So we just have some story cards that we didn't have before. We've got Ikuchi. So at the start of your turn, gain 1 power. That's nice. Action, attack for 2. After this attack, discard 1 power for each storm card you control, then flip this card. So you're going to be doing some interesting type of power-ups. Stormbound, attack with 2 dice. During this attack, you may discard up to 3 power to deal +1 grapple damage. So it is really all about power, discarding power, and his storm cards. So attack with 2 dice, targeting each enemy within 2 spaces. Discard 1 power for each of them that you defeat. Let's see what storm cards are. So discard up to 3 power to choose an equal number of different enemies. For each power discarded, choose 1 fighter to move an enemy up to 2 spaces and gain 2 defense tokens of your choice. So pretty neat stuff that you'll be able to do. Looks like very much like a really neat board control character. So here we've got some new allies that we didn't have before. And we're going to get some new rivals on the opposite side. So there you have it. We've taken a look at what is in the box for the Redemption Pack 2 for this Street Masters game. Well, this is the second one, and really happy to get all these different characters to play. Now keep it right here, as I'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click that like button. Comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell that I just pointed at so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you can find links to all of our social media feeds. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You want to see pictures from when we were playing Street Masters? They're there. When we get Aftershock to the table, you will see some pictures of that game there as well. Also, of course, these 2 expansions. Really want to play the character Kenshin in here. Now, what's next? You will have some links popping up to some previously released content. One will take you back to our most recently released video. The other will take you back to our review and how to play of the original game, Street Masters. We may change it to our review of Street Masters Aftershock once that's released. But for the moment, you know where you're going. And with that being said, don't forget to grab your drink. You watched a long video, so continue enjoying your seat. Say grab a seat, but I doubt you've moved. And don't forget, keep playing games.